The conquest of the Kara-Khitai, 1216 to 1218, is a critical chapter in the westward expansion of the Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan. This campaign not only highlights the Mongols' military strategy and prowess, but also shows how they navigated the political complexities of the region to absorb another powerful state into their growing empire. This conquest was led by one of Genghis Khan's most trusted generals, Jebe, and culminated in the collapse of the Kara-Khitai, also known as the Western Liao dynasty. This event had far-reaching consequences, not just for the Mongols but for the wider history of Central Asia. The region was a melting pot of cultures, religions, and ethnicities, and the fall of the Kara-Khitai opened the doors for further Mongol invasions and the eventual rise of the Mongol dominion over the Islamic world. Before diving into the specifics of the Mongol conquest, it's essential to understand the backdrop against which these events unfolded. The Kara-Khitai, also known as the Western Liao dynasty, was founded by remnants of the Liao dynasty, a Khitan-led state in northern China that had been overthrown by the Jurchen in 1125. After their defeat, the Khitan ruling elite fled westward and established a new state in Central Asia, where they dominated the region and maintained power for nearly a century. Under the leadership of Yelu Dashi, the Kara-Khitai established their hegemony over several Central Asian states, including the Khwarezmian Empire, which paid tribute to the Kara-Khitai for much of the early 12th century. However, by the early 13th century, the Kara-Khitai was in decline. They were plagued by internal rebellions, including uprisings from Muslim subjects who resented being ruled by a non-Muslim elite. This power vacuum, combined with the Kara-Khitai's weakened state, made them an attractive target for the Mongols, who had already begun their expansion westward. At the same time, the Kara-Khitai was involved in conflicts with neighboring powers such as the Khwarezmian Empire and the Naiman tribes, the latter of which would prove pivotal in the Mongol conquest. Genghis Khan, born Temujin in 1162, had united the Mongol tribes under his banner by the early 13th century. His ambitions were not confined to the steppes of Mongolia. He sought to extend his rule far beyond his homeland. By 1209, the Mongols had already subjugated the western Xia and were in the process of conquering the Jin dynasty in northern China. However, Genghis Khan's vision extended westward as well, and he saw an opportunity to expand into Central Asia. Genghis Khan was a master strategist who employed psychological warfare, espionage, and diplomacy alongside his formidable military machine. He was also pragmatic, often incorporating conquered peoples into his armies and administration. His decision to target the Kara-Khitai was motivated by several factors, including the weakened state of the Gurkhanate, the strategic location of the Kara-Khitai realm in Central Asia, and the desire to secure his western flank as he continued his campaigns in China. The Mongol conquest of the Kara-Khitai was led by one of Genghis Khan's most skilled generals, Jebe. Jebe, whose name means arrow in Mongolian, had once been an enemy of Genghis Khan. He earned his place in the Mongol ranks after shooting Genghis Khan's horse in battle. Instead of executing him, Genghis Khan was so impressed by Jebe's skills and courage that he spared his life and made him a general. Jebe would go on to become one of Genghis Khan's most trusted commanders, known for his cunning and audacity in battle. In 1216, Genghis Khan dispatched Jebe on a mission to overthrow the Kara-Khitai. Jebe's orders were clear: eliminate the Kara-Khitai threat and secure the region for the Mongols. This mission was part of a broader Mongol strategy to subdue Central Asia and eliminate potential rivals. The collapse of the Kara-Khitai was accelerated by the involvement of the Naimans, a powerful confederation of Turkic and Mongol tribes that had been rivals of Genghis Khan during his rise to power. After their defeat by Genghis Khan in Mongolia, many Naiman tribes fled westward and sought refuge with the Kara-Khitai. Among these refugees was Kuchlug, a Naiman prince who played a pivotal role in the events leading to the fall of the Kara-Khitai. Kuchlug initially entered the service of the Gurkhan, the title used by the ruler of the Kara-Khitai. However, he quickly began to consolidate power for himself, and by 1211, he had overthrown the Gurkhan and taken control of the Kara-Khitai for himself. This internal coup further weakened the state, as Kuchlug's rule was deeply unpopular, particularly among the Muslim population, who resented his imposition of Buddhism and persecution of Islamic practices. This internal strife presented the Mongols with a golden opportunity. The once powerful Kara-Khitai was now fractured and led by a usurper with little support among his subjects. When Jebe and his forces arrived in 1216, they encountered little resistance from the local population, who saw the Mongols as liberators from Kuchlug's oppressive rule. Jebe's campaign against the Kara-Khitai was swift and decisive. By 1217, Jebe had advanced deep into Kara-Khitai territory, with the support of local Muslim populations who viewed the Mongols as preferable to Kuchlug's rule. This is a crucial point in understanding Mongol success. The Mongols were often seen as liberators rather than conquerors by oppressed populations, particularly when the local rulers were unpopular. Jebe's forces pursued Kuchlug, who fled westward in an attempt to escape Mongol capture. However, the Mongols' legendary mobility allowed them to quickly close the distance. Jebe's army caught up with Kuchlug in the Pamirs, a remote mountain range on the border of modern-day Tajikistan and Afghanistan. According to historical accounts, Jebe's troops defeated Kuchlug's forces, and Kuchlug himself was captured and executed. With Kuchlug's death, the last remnants of the Kara-Khitai state collapsed, and the Mongols were left in control of a vast swath of Central Asia. The conquest of the Kara-Khitai marked a significant turning point in the Mongol Empire's westward expansion. With the defeat of Kuchlug, Genghis Khan's empire now stretched from the steppes of Mongolia to the borders of the Khwarezmian Empire, a vast and wealthy Muslim state that would soon become the next target of Mongol expansion. The Mongols, true to their policy of incorporating conquered peoples into their empire, absorbed many of the Kara-Khitai's former subjects into their own administration and military. The conquest of the Kara-Khitai also provided the Mongols with valuable experience in governing a multi-ethnic, multi-religious empire, a skill that would serve them well as they continued their conquests in the Islamic world and beyond. Moreover, the Mongol conquest of the Kara-Khitai paved the way for further Mongol invasions into the heart of Central Asia and the Middle East. It also sent a clear message to other states in the region: the Mongol war machine was unstoppable, and resistance was futile. The conquest of the Kara-Khitai was a pivotal moment in the history of the Mongol Empire. It demonstrated the effectiveness of Mongol military tactics, their ability to exploit political divisions, and their capacity to incorporate conquered peoples into their expanding empire. The fall of the Kara-Khitai also marked the beginning of Mongol domination in Central Asia, a region that would serve as a launching pad for future conquests in the Middle East and Europe. For Genghis Khan, the conquest of the Kara-Khitai was another step in his quest to create the largest contiguous empire in history. For the peoples of Central Asia, it marked the end of one era and the beginning of another, one in which Mongol rule would reshape the political, cultural, and economic landscape of the region for generations to come. In the larger context of world history, the conquest of the Kara-Khitai underscores the Mongols' role as agents of change, linking disparate regions of the world through conquest, trade, and cultural exchange. It is a story of ambition, power, and the relentless drive of one of history's greatest conquerors to expand his